Sometimes the future isn't just written. Sometimes it's rewritten. And sometimes it fights back. You're listening to the Curvature Chronicles. Welcome back to the Curvature Key. In this episode, Castor and the book get to know each other a bit. Meanwhile, Sara reveals where she's from, and it ain't next door. With the Krenn stalking him and the book whispering to him, Castor doesn't know which one will get him first. And now, Episode 3.
His dorm room is dim, save for the glow of the small desk lamp and the ever-so-faintly pulsing of the book. It doesn't blink or hum. It's like it breathes, like it's something alive. Could be alive, thinks Castor. Oh, not like I'm alive or Sara is alive, but some kind of life. Castor stares over at it.
Look, whatever you are, I didn't sign up for this.
He stands up and walks over to it.
I was only killing time between lectures, and now things are trying to kill me. I ought to stick your weird little leather-covered ass on my bookshelf and leave you.
He grabbed the book and flipped it open. You were always going to find me. Castor blinked rapidly. It was one thing for this book to give him a small prediction of the future. It was quite another for it to carry on a conversation with him. It continued, and I was always going to find you.
Okay, that's how it's going to be? You want to play?
Castor took a step back.
I mean, that's not ominous sounding at all.
He grabs a pen out of his backpack. What are you? He wrote. A beat silence, then the words start to appear. A lens, a lock, a lever, a mirror. He flips back through earlier pages, the predictions and the warnings. Something is nagging at the edge of his perception now. Of course. Finally, it hit him.
It's not just that you know the future. It's that you seem to know me. My choices, my fears, even my thoughts.
He flips to a fresh page and writes again.
How do you know me? And what are you doing to me?
The answer is slower this time. Eerily. Not doing to. Reading. You are becoming more readable. I have known your blood since the beginning. Castor stares at the page and puts both hands on his head. The entire blood thing was just too much to wrap his brain around right now, so he went with the other part.
Readable? What does that mean? I'm more readable?
Yes, you think in language. I think in consequence, Castor hadn't really grasped that statement completely either when it started writing again, eerily. The longer we are together, the thinner the line between language and consequence becomes. He suddenly feels lightheaded. His phone buzzes, a voicemail earlier from his mom. He pushes the button to listen and glances at the book. Now it reads, "You don't need them anymore." He tosses his phone on the bed and points at the book.
Look, this isn't okay. This isn't prophecy or anything like that. You're invading my privacy.
Later that night, he meets Sara outside the campus rec center. T-shirt almost as red as his eyes from not sleeping. She took one look at him.
The book wrote some more stuff, didn't it?
More than that, it was carrying on a conversation with me. Not the, hey, nice haircut, Castor, or, gee, I sure am glad to be a book so I don't have to pay taxes kind of conversation either. Conversation like, I think this way, but you think that way. But I can read you like a book. Tell me that's not ironic. Plus, it's not just telling me what's going to happen. It's like it's rewiring how I think about what's happening. I asked it a question, and I swear it answered it before I'd even finished the thought. It said, we are starting to think more alike. Whatever that means.
Sara slurped her coffee.
It's syncing with you.
Syncing with me?
Castor pulled his hair with both hands.
What does that even mean?
It means that you are not just reading the book anymore. You're part of it now. It sees you as its storyteller, as a thread.
A what? Thread?
You're not just carrying it around in your backpack, Castor. It's starting to carry you around.
As they walk, the book, now stuffed as far down in Cast's backpack as he could manage, vibrates against his spine, like it hears every single word.
If it's syncing with you this quickly, it means either one of two things.
She glanced up at the stars in thought.
Either it's chosen you to be its key.
She trailed off as they walked. Or? Castor prompted. She keeps looking up but doesn't answer. But for the first time since they met, Castor notices. Sara Sudis looks genuinely afraid. Castor doesn't sleep anymore. Not because he's not tired, he's always tired. It's been days since he got any decent rest. That's because every time he closes his eyes, things happen that shouldn't. Conversations play out before they happen. His dreams leak into his waking life. It's difficult for him to tell sometimes if he's awake or dreaming at this point. Sometimes, when someone is speaking to him, he can hear what they are going to say before their mouths move. He sits alone in the campus courtyard, notebook open, trying to write. Not having a lot of success at that, a motion up in a tree catches his eye. It's a squirrel running down a branch. Then the squirrel freezes mid-step. A bell rings in the background, but the sound hangs in the air too long. His pen scratches across the page halfway through a sentence, then drags itself the rest of the way down the page, as if something else is guiding his hand. His heart skips a beat as the book starts to hum in his backpack, almost like a second heartbeat. He whispers, "What do you want? What are you doing to me?" He hears the voice responding, not aloud, but inside his mind. "Widening your lens. Time is not a line. It's circular. You were taught wrong." Sara finds him passed out on the park bench.
Castor, wake up.
She gently shakes him.
Open your eyes. That's a good boy.
Why are you talking to me like a pet?
Sara snickered and patted him on the head.
Well, you're not a bum, and dogs and cats are the only others to sleep on park benches.
Castor had been asleep. The back of his neck felt like someone had hit it with a hammer, where his head had fallen forward to his chest. He might have been asleep for 2 minutes or maybe 2 hours. Judging from his neck pain, he was betting on the latter.
What time is it anyway?
That doesn't matter, Castor.
She said quietly.
You're unraveling.
Castor looked at her and rubbed the back of his neck.
Feels more like I'm being re-raveled or rewoven.
She nodded.
That's how it starts. Tea?
She sat a thermos beside him on the bench. He poured himself a cup and went through the motion of tapping it into her coffee while nodding in appreciation. He sipped mechanically.
Why does it feel like I've lived today twice?
Because part of you has.
Sara's voice was calm and non-committal, as always, but her fingers beat out a rapid fidget on her cup.
The book, or any artifact portal like it, tends to let the user drift. Or just outright take them places that they don't want to go, if they haven't been trained on the proper usage and protocol. That's why we don't use them lightly. You, consciousness, is bleeding across possible timelines and well as places. Memories from futures that haven't happened yet.
She slurped her coffee.
Probably won't happen. But you could start to overwrite the present if you're not careful.
Castor stares at her. We? As in?
Zorathians. My ancestors are from the planet Zora, in what you'd know as the Andromeda Galaxy.
Woot!
I knew it.
He nodded vigorously. too vigorously since he reached up and grabbed his injured neck. He rubbed his face.
Andromeda, though? I was thinking somewhere in the Milky Way, you know? Like Proxima Centauri, somewhere close.
Close, Castor. Do you realize that Proxima Centauri is 4.24 years away, traveling at the speed of light? We can't even get close to that speed. At best, our ships can go around 150 million meters per second. And that not for long periods of time.
Well, since you put it that way. Sara, hate to ask, but how fast is that exactly?
She looks at him with her hands on her hips for a second.
Sorry, I forget you don't... Physics. Well, with others. It's around half Castor. We can travel half the speed of light.
Wow. So how long did it take you to get here? From there?
She, for the first time since he'd known her, laughed out loud.
Oh, no time at all. I just stepped through a door, or a portal. It'd take around 5 million years to get here at the speed Zorothian ships move.
The guy that's after the book. He's from Andromeda also?
Krenn. Yes, the Krenn are from Andromeda. But they aren't like my ancestors. They are very conquest-minded. That's practically all they care about. They believe that the only way to ensure their survival is to conquer every race they meet.
And your people, the Zorathians, aren't like that?
Sara's jaw visibly tightens.
No, we are not. Krenn don't care about other races. If he was to get this artifact and use it, or it allows him to use it,
She shuddered a little at the thought and hugged herself tightly.
it could cause time bleed. It could cause time in this region of space to become totally unstable. The Krenn would use that. They'd raid, wipe out entire colonies, before those colonies' defenses ever existed. It's not just paper and ink. It's a fragment on something far older than us both. Once we found it, and attempted to destroy it, is when we found out that it just reappears on a different part of the timeline. It's like it wants something. Almost like it wants to control destiny. But it can't do it alone.
Castor looked down at his hands. For a moment, it seemed like there were cracks in the air around them. Faint lines of static surrounding him, like the world as he knew it, his very body, was buffering.
Sara, earlier you said I was unraveling.
She raised her coffee up to her mouth and nodded.
So what happens to me? What happens if I unravel too far?
She lowered her coffee cup and took a deep breath, concerned.
Then, at some level, you stop being Castor.
Then what? If I stop being me, what happens? Who am I then?
Then, Castor, you are something else the book can use.
The book is open again, not because Castor opened it or even wanted it that way. He just woke up and there he was, kneeling on the dorm floor, his palms dripping sweat, resting on pages that he doesn't remember turning, ink threading around his fingers like ivy. The words don't crawl across the parchment any longer. They spiral. You are a shape. You are a sequence. You are a door. Castor rips himself away and stumbles back, heart threatening to beat through his chest. His skin is tingling with static. He makes his way into the bathroom to steady himself on the sink. He looks up into the mirror and something isn't right. For half a second, he isn't right, his reflection anyway. His face was too sharp, hair too long, one eye violet? He blinks and everything returns back to normal. He was proud in a way that he didn't scream. He just slid onto the tile floor and stayed there for who knew how long until Sara knocked at his door. They were walking through the almost abandoned greenhouse behind the AG/Science building. Sara had insisted that they go someplace quiet. No electronics.
It needs to be this way, Castor. The book isn't the only one watching you now.
She warned him, and to Castor, honestly sounded concerned for him. He walked a little closer to her.
Well then, Sara, explain to me how all that in my dorm wasn't just a hallucination.
It wasn't a hallucination, Castor. You're shifting, slowly, but you're not hallucinating.
Castor waits for a second for her to go on, then throws his hands open towards Sara, waiting.
We've discovered the book has a very specific action structure, meaning what it responds to, how it responds, basically how it works. Your body, brain, they start out rigid to it, so it's making your brain more flexible.
Flexible? Sounds. And feels like it's trying to soften me up.
Again, in a way, you're right. It's making you more pliable so it can communicate with you more easily, better. So it can move you where it wants.
Okay, I feel like my 20 questions is up, so tell me already. Where does it want me?
She put her hand on his arm, sending a small electric jolt through him as she shook her head.
It's a Zorathian door. It opens, but it can't do that if the key doesn't fit into the lock. That key is you, and you don't quite fit yet. It doesn't want, really. Not like you and I do. Does that make sense?
It made perfect sense to Castor, who was torn between wanting her to keep rubbing his arm and wanting her to stop. She was so distracting. She left her hand there, but he manages a nod.
So it has decided to use me as its key. And it's trying to shape me so I can unlock it.
In a way, Castor. It's not supposed to be here. We're not supposed to have it. When the Krenn tried to force it open and use it on Zor 9 station where it was kept, the book, let's just say it must have panicked and jumped as far away as it could, homing in on Zorathian DNA.
DNA? Cast asked incredulously. She nodded.
Yes, DNA. Zorathian DNA. It's in every portal that exists. Although you aren't the artifact's first rider, normally non-Zorathians don't do well.
They stand in silence for a long time before Sara goes on.
But since you are not Zorathian, the fact that it's responding to you means something. Maybe something bad. Certainly something dangerous.
He takes a deep breath. That helps him to digest all that's being said as he looks at her.
Sara, earlier you said you can shapeshift. Can you suddenly turn into a, giant bird or something? Is that what's happening to me?
Yes and no. By now, the artifact has probably changed your DNA somewhat. Whatever you saw in the mirror, well, it probably isn't the last time you'll see that. And no, I can't turn into a giant bird. The third strand of helix my DNA has does help me blend in. I'm on Earth, and I want to look human, so I do. Almost no Zorathians get to choose what they'll look like.
So, back home on Zora, you didn't look like you do right now?
No, I didn't. Zora has a lot more gravity than Earth. Our body compositions are about 3 times denser than humans.
Ah, that's why it felt like I ran into a wall when I met you. So is my body composition changing like that?
She gulped down a drink of coffee.
I believe so. I'm just glad it's you, and not the Krenn.
You've been listening to Curvature Chronicles. Castor has heard the book's voice, and Sara has revealed her true origin in the Andromeda Galaxy. Both the Krenn and the book loom as threats, but the greatest danger may still be unknown. In our next episode, the shadows lengthen, and the curve begins to twist in ways no one expects. If you're enjoying the story, don't forget to follow the show on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you're listening. For lore, updates, and bonus content, visit curvaturechronicles.space or find me on X at CurveChron. Until next time, keep your eyes on the curve, because every story bends reality.